town hall meetings in Midwestern districts held by Republicans whose representatives have stopped appearing at them.
This is us going out and talking to people, making the case that people are absolutely clear that both parties are not the same. One stands with Elon Musk, the billionaires, and the dismantling of America as we know it, and one that's going to be there for their families. And if we're not out there, Donald Trump, all the podcasts, all the money will fill that void. Yeah. So, yeah, I'm going.
Walz continues to downplay a possible presidential run in 2028, but so far has kept the door open. University of Minnesota Director of Athletics Mark Coyle speaking for the first time today about the firing of men's basketball head coach Ben Johnson this week and his plans to replace Johnson.
Obviously, we want to be very efficient and move quickly because of the transfer portal, because of the collective NIL, because of the institutional NIL. We want to have those conversations quickly. So we're trying to be very efficient in our goals to move quickly as possible. So those young men on that team right now who are returning next year have a chance to spend time with that coach.
Coyle says Johnson's replacement will need someone who embraces Minnesota, being in the Big Ten Conference, and can generate excitement. He says he's already receiving calls from coaches who want to be part of the program. And when you sign up to be a firefighter, you never quite know what your work days will bring. Last night for a St. Paul Fire Department crew, it was helping deliver a baby in the back of an ambulance parked outside of a hospital emergency room. The department says both mother and baby are doing well. WCCO News Time is 3:06.
Now on CCO, let's do traffic and weather together. First, a check of the drive and what shape the roads are in.
Brought to you by Whole Foods Market, shop and store online. Westbound 694 is midway towards Central Avenue. Crash off to the right side. Get ready for the slowdowns. Coming down the hill past Matterhorn over to 252. South 94 jammed up into the Laurel Tunnel as you move past Highway 55. 35E northbound. Got some slowing there. Randolph heading up to I-94. Find quality produce at Whole Foods Market. Save on avocados from Mexico. Medium Hass avocados through March 18th. Make a bowl of limey guacamole and crispy tortilla chips while supplies last. Shop in store online. Terms apply. Jerry Peterson, News Talk 830 WCCO.
Clogged gutters? Call the pros. Advantage Home Pros. With the highest quality workmanship and materials. Seamless gutter installation, cleaning, and covers. Our trained, knowledgeable local pros can handle it all. Trust the pros. AdvantageHomePros.com.
Forecast time with an update on current conditions and a quick look at what's ahead the next few days.
Brought to you by Advantage Home Pros. Experience the advantage at AdvantageHomePros.com. And here's WCCO TV Chief Meteorologist Chris Schaefer.
Rain showers coming up from the south. There could be a few isolated thunderstorms. There's a slight risk of severe weather down in parts of southern Minnesota. 48 the overnight low. Tomorrow, the temperatures will fall throughout the day. We'll see rain showers here, blizzard conditions in extreme western Minnesota. By the time the snow gets here, it's pretty much fizzling out. We expect no accumulation, but a windy day and a cool day. Sunday, mostly sunny, a bit breezy with a high of 39.
Mostly cloudy, breezy right now, 72 at News Talk 830 WCCO.
Don't spend your time with stations that talk at you. Experience a place that talks with you. News Talk 830 WCCO. Buckle up. Time for the ride home and the chance to get caught up on the day's news. Plus, whatever else he wants to riff on. This is Drive Time with DeRusha.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please?
And here's the star of the show and your host, Jason DeRusha.
Are you ready? All right.
Now live on your radio and streaming to the world at WCCOradio.com and the Odyssey app. Here's Jason DeRusha.
It is Friday, and welcome to Drive Time. Glad to have you with us. It is Jason. Dan is off. Lindsay is here. Thanks to Adam Carter for filling in for me yesterday, although his final segment, inviting people to call in with their favorite Toronto Blue Jays players, I'm not sure was exactly in the spirit of what we try to do here on this show. But, you know, when I take a day off, that's sort of how it goes. No days off in Washington, D.C., where a fundamental question is playing out right now. And it's a question for you and for Democrats to decide, because to me as an observer, man, the Democrats have no clue what they're doing. They have no idea how to fight back against Donald Trump. Just absolutely clueless. In any moment, one of the first votes will happen in the U.S. Senate. And the U.S. Senate is deciding whether or not to keep the government open. It used to be that this was a very boring, ordinary, like, yep, we're going to reauthorize the spending we already authorized. This is no big deal. Here we go. Over the last, I don't know, it's been like 15 years, this has become a political hot potato every time it comes up. But normally, what you're asked to vote on is just a clean resolution. No nonsense in there. Just kind of says, yep, we're going to keep paying the bills. Republicans, however, have put forth from the House a resolution that, by many accounts, is extremely partisan. It has all sorts of different issues in there. It extends funding largely at the same level, but it cuts $13 billion out of non-defense programs. It dumps another $6 billion in additional spending for the military. It basically tells Washington, D.C. to majorly gut their city budget. And so Democrats are faced with the question, I got to be honest, I don't know what the right way to go is. Do you vote like Chuck Schumer is saying he's going to do and John Fetterman? Do you vote to keep the government open? This is sort of old school politician model A, where you say, well, I hate this thing, but the damage that the American people will face if the government shuts down is worse. So I'm going to bite the bullet. I'm going to keep government funded. In fact, we have Chuck Schumer sort of explaining his thinking on this. Here's what he said.
Well, Mr. President, as everyone knows, government funding expires at midnight tonight. As I announced yesterday, I will vote to keep the government open. I believe it is the best way to minimize the harm that the Trump administration will do to the American people. Clearly, this is a Hobson's choice. The CR is a bad bill. But as bad as the CR is, I believe allowing Donald Trump to take even much more power via a government shutdown is a far worse option.
Man, this sounds like the politics of 30 years ago, doesn't it? Because most Democrats are saying, you know what? We got to shut it down. We got to vote against it. Would you rather shut down the government, which is what Tina Smith is saying we should do very forcefully? Amy Klobuchar is getting ripped by the former mayor of Minneapolis, R.T. Ryback, who says basically she's being a coward. That in this moment, we need Democrats to forcefully stand up and explain why the Republican proposals are bad. My question to you is not to debate whether or not this proposal is good or bad. Because if you think you know, I'm going to say you're full of it. Because none of us really understand this crap, right? Continuing resolution to continue funding the government at the current levels, and they're playing, come on. None of us have read the bill. None of us know exactly what's going on. The question is, in the Trump era, do you fight forcefully, even if it comes at a cost of a government shutdown, which would put huge numbers of people out of work immediately? Or do you sort of do the shuffle? You do the Schumer shuffle. Oh, I don't like it, but I don't want to hurt the people. What do people want? 651-461-9226. How about we give you a sample of John Fetterman? Now, typical Minnesota. Amy Klobuchar sends out a statement. I'll read you the statement from her in a minute. The statement that the former mayor of Minneapolis is straight up ripping on social media. But here's John Fetterman. This is another sort of centrist Democrat saying, can't vote to shut down the government.
What leverage do we have? Democrats keep showing up at every night fight with a casserole. you know, and they have these cheesy paddles, and then they, you know, pick your fighter cheese ball stuff. You know, where's your messaging? You know, and if you think now you're tough to shut the government down, then how do you get back in? Because millions of Americans are going to be impacted. A lot of them aren't even going to get paid, but they all get paid. You know, what's the exit ramp? How do we even restart the government? Why? Because it's going to be under the terms of Musk and Trump and the GOP.
Democrats have no idea what they're doing. No idea. They don't know how to fight against this sort of rapid fire Trump, Musk. We're doing 4 things in a day. They don't know how to combat that. And now they're boxed in a corner. Do you vote to shut down the government, knowing what would happen here? Or do you stand up, say no, and tell Trump and Musk to shove it? Texters, Jason, wouldn't a government shutdown help reduce the national debt? Well, yeah, maybe minor. 1 day, 2 day. Eventually, you got to get it going again. The downside of some of this stuff is massive unemployment. I haven't really seen a full explanation as to what the Trump administration and DOJ plans on doing when all of these federal workers are out of work. Now look, I'm not as outraged as some about some of the cuts and the dramatic changes that we're seeing. I think like a lot of people, you've heard forever that we need to shrink the size of government, that government's gotten too big, that we're spending too much money. And then what happens? Republican or Democrat, they spend more money. Now, it's a bit of a farce if you think you're going to really cut the government. You're not going to deal with the military spending. You're not going to deal with Social Security, and you're not going to deal with Medicaid and Medicare, right? Like, you're just sort of like, you're playing around the edges, but it's significant money around the edges. My view is this. Too often, politicians let us all off the hook. The Chuck Schumer approach lets everybody off the hook. It says, well, we'll just keep this going for a while. I believe there is some benefit in feeling some pain. By voting no and saying, now, by voting no, you basically keep a filibuster going. That's what's happening. The Senate has a majority. That's the technical side of this, the boring kind of technical side. Democrats can filibuster this. You need 60 votes to stop a filibuster. And the question is, will the Democrats will enough vote to stop the filibuster? It's a challenging situation for the Democrats. But if you just go along and let it continue, to me, you allow sort of the people in the middle who voted for Trump and said, you know what, we want to see what he can do. We'd like to see cuts. Or maybe they said, we don't like the Democratic candidate. I do think maybe we should experience a little pain. See what it's like to have the government shut down. See what it's like to have a nakedly partisan bill when you could just kind of keep this going. 651-461-9226. There's really nothing the Dems can do. The voters gave Trump a trifecta. So that is the question. What do you do if you're the minority party? Do you try to go along? Or do you yell and fight? Pam, watching us streaming live on Facebook, says the Democrats must vote no. Another texter. Trump and his team could care less what the media or Democratic leaders are saying. Full steam ahead. And Governor Tim Walz heading out on a road show to Iowa is the single most idiotic thing I've seen somebody do in a while. Clueless.
That's all they're really doing, though, aren't they? Like Democrats in response. Because I know there's a lot of people like eliciting, do something if you're on one particular side of the aisle over the other. But we've seen Bernie Sanders go out on the road. We've seen Tim Walz go out on the road. Is this one of the only
who cares that he's going on the road?
But what do those tools of any sort of hold up or stoppage look like? Is this one of those opportunities to take advantage of the tool? Because I think it is. But then, like you said, there's the reality of the hurt that causes, whether that
cause
be
hurt.
people not getting paid, people not being able to go into work, people having to go to work and not getting paid. There's consequences for every single one of these decisions.
Right.
But we're already in a place without a shutdown that a lot of people are losing their jobs too.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so, I mean, aren't we already going through it? So why not we just take a bigger bite?
I mean, to me, like, you always can come back next week and change your mind, right? But
Or tomorrow.
If you shut the government down with this vote today, you had the weekend, so most people won't feel a massive impact, but at least you stood for something. If you just vote yes, what are you standing for? What's even the point of having an opposition party if you're not going to oppose?
Yeah.
We are not in an era of bipartisanship. We're not. Politicians don't want it on the major issues. Yes, many other issues you can be bipartisan. Politicians aren't doing it because we don't vote for it. We don't want it. People say they want bipartisanship. I call BS. People want their side to win at all costs. Think about that. We'll talk about it more. Lots of texts coming in. Keep them coming. 651-461-9226 here on Drive Time.
Drive Time with DeRusha is back after this on News Talk 830 WCCO.
All right, we have some breaking news from Colette. It's Jason DeRusha. You know I've got that trip to Greece coming up this fall. We are exploring ancient Athens. We are going to Mykonos. We are going to Santorini. But next week, we are doing one last chance for you to get involved in this trip. And we're doing a little info meeting on Zoom, a little virtual meeting next Thursday, March 20th at noon. So I want you to come join us on Zoom and learn more about our Greek island hopper on October 12th through the 22nd. Go to WCCOradio.com/Greece. All the information is here. Now, I have traveled with CCO listeners and Colette before, and let me tell you, it is a first-class experience. Athens is one of my favorite cities in the world. You've got the Acropolis, you've got the Parthenon, and then you've got some of the best restaurants and bars in the world. And then it's leisure time. We're going to Mykonos. We're going to be on the beach. Oh, Mykonos is so cool. And then Santorini. Colette takes care of everything, your flights, your hotels, most of your meals. The best thing is they hook you up with local guides that give you experiences you just couldn't get on your own. So let's do it. Let's go on a drive time trip. You can go to Greece and tell me I'm full of crap every day in person. Isn't that more fun than texting? WCCOradio.com/Greece. Let's go today.
This is Greg Trzynski from the Original Mattress Factory. A few years back, there was a surge of online mattress companies offering a one-feel-fits-all mattress. Eventually, they all added more selections. Why? They discovered what we've known for over 30 years. Everyone has unique preferences. At the Original Mattress Factory, we handled a range of comfort choices so that you can select the one that suits you best. Don't rely on someone else's opinion. Try out a variety of options and find the one that's right for you. OriginalMattress.com.
Oh, by the way, Ivan's no longer on the project. His wife got a new job, so they're moving across the country.
Robin's top researcher is deviating to a new market. This isn't standard.
And now we're short-staffed. Who's going to finish all these projects?
She needs a cluster of new data analysts, and there's no margin for error.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Put our matching platform to work so you can spend less time searching and more time connecting with talented candidates. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Selling your home, it's one of the biggest financial decisions you'll ever make. You could go it alone, trying to navigate market trends, determine fair pricing, and tackle tricky negotiations on your own. You could second-guess every decision, wondering if you're doing it right. Then there's the showings, the offers, and the mountain of paperwork. Or you could work with the expertise of a realtor, here to guide and help protect as you make your next big move. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors. Right by you.
Ever feel like there aren't enough hours in the day? If you get busy or miss your favorite show, don't worry. With Rewind, available exclusively on the free Odyssey app, you can stream your favorite shows on demand. You know your day is better with us. Get the news that matters to you from the local voices you trust. No matter what you're up to, give it a try. To get started, download the free Odyssey app and search for your station. That's AUDACY.
Seems everything costs more these days. Gas, groceries, and when's the last time you checked your wireless bill? Yikes. When it comes to big wireless, if you're staying, you may be overpaying. Here's how to get the same fast, reliable nationwide coverage without the big wireless bill. Switch to Consumer Cellular. Plans start at just $20 a month, and that's not a short-term promo. Our U.S.-based experts will get you switched and saving in about 20 minutes. Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com and start saving today. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing.
Welcome to Staples.
I hear Staples prints it all for any business.
You bet, and we'll beat any print quote.
So if I had a pizza place...
Staples can print signs, menus, pizza boxes.
A landscaping business?
Oh, we can print yard signs, t-shirts, brochures.
How about a pizza/landscaping business? I'll call it Dough and Mo.
I like it.
Right now at Staples, get up to $250 off your print purchase. Ends 4/5, exclusions apply. Visit staples.com/print for offer details. Price match guarantee valid in store and staples.com/print. Visit staples.com/price match for details.
This is Drive Time with DeRusha.
You look like maybe you're about to recite some poetry or sit in a corner with a little glass of wine and pontificate about something.
Yeah.
Yes. Very debonair.
On News Talk 830 WCCO.
Say my name, say my name.
Any minute now, we should have the first vote in the U.S. Senate on this funding bill that would keep the government operating. House Democrats are furious that Senate Democrats are talking about voting yes to keep the government open. It's a tough choice. Do you keep the government open or do you fight? Here is the different tone we're getting from Minnesota politicians. Senator Tina Smith, who has announced she's not running for re-election. So what does she care, right? Just like let her rip. Trump and Republicans set this up as an unprecedented power grab so they can slash and burn government services on their terms. I'm a firm no. Senator Amy Klobuchar, I will not support the partisan proposal, in part because it does not include Minnesota infrastructure projects, undercuts Medicare and research, and makes major changes to reduce veterans' health care. Tina Smith saying Trump wants to burn down the government. Amy Klobuchar saying I'm worried about Minnesota roads. I mean, one might be more successful in a centrist wider appeal, but the Amy Klobuchar statement got a fascinating rebuke from the former mayor of Minneapolis. Bland non-statement that misses the moment. So the question is, what do you want? Let's go to Mark, who is on the WCCO talk and text line 651-461-9226. Do you want bipartisanship, Mark, or do you want the fight?
Well, I'll tell you, Mr. Hartman, nice to hear your voice and listening to you since I was a child. Since I was a child, and I'm 67. Well, anyway.
Appreciate it. It's Mr. DeRusha. Mr. Hartman is on a half hour before me. So,
I thought this was Chad. Yeah. I'm sorry.
It's all right. It's all right.
Did
you spring forward your clock this weekend? Maybe you're still on Chad time, right? Like it's all good.
Well, what's funny is that I just had flipped the radio on and I heard you just say the last sentence about bipartisanship. And then since then, I've been listening over the phone and there's a lot of interesting stuff there. But okay, here's my spin on it. You know, over the years, Republicans, Democrats, you know, they each had their different stories. Democrats are supposedly tax and spend, and the Republicans are supposed to cut the costs and reduce taxes, but that never happened anyway, either way. You know, they always said they would, but they never really did. And there was things like trickle down that never worked and so on. But anyway, it was, we worked together. It was bipartisan.
Right.
Until then one thing happened. I'll give you a clue. It's a 5-letter pronoun that starts with a T.
Do you think it started with that T, or do you think it, I don't know. I wonder if we're sort of moving in this direction anyway.
No, I disagree.
You think that
he
took it
really
over the top?
He polarized the country? Yeah.
Well, I think that's true. Like I agree with you there. Yeah.
Yeah, and there's no question. And you lose friends over it. It's it's been really, really tough.
Yeah.
I'll tell you a story.
Well, we don't, Mark, I got to stop you. I'm sorry. We don't have time for that, but thank you for calling in. I appreciate it. That's
You
Mark.
bet.
Want to share some of the texts coming in? Comment on our Facebook stream as well. The Dems have no idea how to battle this GOP, says Bill. They want to please everyone and will get nothing accomplished. Another texter. The libs remind me of the parents whose kid is not nearly talented enough to play for the team they are on, but they keep begging, complaining to the coach. So finally, the coach puts them in and fail. I just think, to me, I think Democrats are faced with this very difficult choice. Do we follow the old school of politics, which is kind of, look, sometimes you got to put country before the argument, and you say keeping the government open is maybe more important than registering your disgust with the bill. But I just don't know that's the deal today. I don't know if that is, I don't know that that's what voters want. I really don't. I wish we could take more calls, but we are out of time. So I appreciate Paul and everybody who called in and all the texts. But we got a break. It's Friday. We got a break. When we come back, I've got a guest that I've been excited to talk to, because if you're on social media, it seems like every other influencer is selling some kind of supplement, some kind of protein powder, some kind of magic potion. We're all in this sort of natural phase, supplements. What do we really need to know? What's safe? What's necessary? We'll get into that with a nutritionist, director of nutritional products, in just a minute here on CCO.
We need a quick pit stop. Then Jason DeRusha continues on News Talk 830 WCCO.
Weekend is here, and are you ready? Are you ready with a great cheese and sausage plate, maybe for dinner tonight? Maybe you want to sit on the patio before the rain comes later tonight. Get yourself a nice bottle of rosé. How about one of those seltzers? So many people have been curious about that. Anniversary sale is in effect at Surdyk's. Get over to Surdyk's. Get there tonight. University in Hennepin, right in Minneapolis, plenty of free parking. I love the Surdyk family. The anniversary sale is celebrating their 91st anniversary, 91 years in business. And if you go to surdyks.com, you can pre-shop the sale and see what they have, see what the deals are. But it's better just to go in the store. There's so many bottles of wine under $15. And if you want to step it up a little bit, the higher end stuff, that's where you really save a good chunk of money. Myself, tonight, I'm doing a little dinner party with some friends. And we're stopping at Surdyk's for a nice burgundy red, little Pinot Noir to go with sort of a Julia Child themed dinner that we're having. Ooh, ho, ho, ho. Surdyk's has something for everybody, every price point, every part of the world. You want to support American wine producers? Get over there and do it. Get that California wine or that Oregon Pinot. Why not? Surdyks.com. That anniversary sale ends on Sunday, so get there today.
Now that our phones save them for us, we just don't remember numbers anymore. Excuse me, sir. What's your wife's number?
It's in my favorites.
Well, how about your mom's number?
Oh, I just tell Alexa to call her.
Your best friend?
612. No clue.
Okay, so what's the CCO talk and text line?
Easy. 651-461-9226.
Amazing.
I'll use this number more.
Memorize our number, save the rest. The CCO talk and text line, 651-461-9... crap.
Brought to you by Total Wine & More. With the lowest prices for over 30 years, you'll always find what you love and love what you find. Only at Total Wine & More. Drink responsibly. Be 21.
Hey, Twins fans, it's time for spring training in Fort Myers. Cheer on your favorite team at Hammond Stadium within the Lee Health Sports Complex. Then explore the islands, beaches, and neighborhoods of Fort Myers between games. Sink your toes into white sand, discover lush nature preserves filled with wildlife, and dine on fresh Gulf seafood. Turning your love of baseball into a relaxing vacation just feels right. Start planning at visitfortmyers.com.
Winter won't last forever. Get ready for patio season with By the Yard. Anything along here.
The preseason sale happening now through March 15th. Order now. Save big. Be ready to enjoy the warm weather while everyone else is scrambling to buy. For 30 years, they've built maintenance-free furniture that lasts a lifetime, backed by a 35-year warranty and delivered directly to you. By the Yard's preseason sale ends March 15th. Shop bytheyard.net or visit the showrooms, Woodbury, Maple Grove, or Jordan. By the Yard. Life is better outdoors.
Hey, Green Gobbler here. So you've got a clogged drain in your bathroom. Water in the sink's overstaying its welcome. You're spitting today's toothpaste on top of yesterday's toothpaste. You hope that it go away. Yeah, clogs don't just go away. I make them go away. I'm Green Gobbler, the only clog dissolver you need. I'm bleach-free, safe for your pipes, and I work. Guaranteed or your money back. Because I never met a clog that was going to unclog itself. Green Gobbler. Let the gobbler get it.
Are you having trouble hearing? Hearing loss can devastate the quality of your life. Now, there's an affordable fix for you or your loved one. Rated in the best hearing aids of 2024 by USA Today, all hearing is the highest quality hearing prices. Just $189.
I actually like them better than my old $5,000 hearing aids.
I could not believe how my hearing and life changed.
Join over 500,000 happy customers by going to audionhearing.com. That's AUDIEN hearing.com.
Ever feel like there aren't enough hours in the day? If you get busy or miss your favorite show, don't worry. With Rewind, available exclusively on the free Odyssey app, you can stream your favorite shows on demand. You know your day is better with us. Get the news that matters to you from the local voices you trust. No matter what you're up to, give it a try. To get started, download the free Odyssey app and search for your station. It's AUDXCY.
Now on CCO, let's do traffic and weather together. First, a check of the drive and what shape the roads are in.
It's a grass fire causing some problems for 94 westbound, just beyond Highway 25. As you make your way out of Monticello, get ready for the slowdowns. Right lane is affected as people move over a lane to allow their emergency crews to work. Crosstown westbound, the area of Xerxes, got an accident working. It looks like it's going to be on the ramp from Xerxes to westbound Crosstown. Over on the east side, 94 eastbound, some slowing through downtown St. Paul. Jerry Peterson, News Talk 830 WCCO.
The face of Minnesota veterans is changing. For the centennial year celebration, DAV of Minnesota invites you to join the ongoing effort to fulfill promises made to the men and women who served our great state and nation. Donate today at davmn.org.
Forecast time with an update on current conditions and a quick look at what's ahead the next few days.
Weather is brought to you by DAV of Minnesota. Here is Chief Meteorologist Chris Schaefer.
Expecting some rain showers this evening. There is a slight risk of a few severe thunderstorms in extreme southern Minnesota. Tomorrow, rain showers will be scattered in nature. We could see some snowflakes mix in. We will not see the accumulation that folks in western Minnesota will. There, several inches will fall and accumulate, and with the strong winds gusting over 50 miles per hour, they'll be in blizzard conditions. We may see a few flakes here tomorrow afternoon, but no accumulation expected. Sunday, mostly sunny, a little breezy with a high of 39. We're back in the 50s on St. Patrick's Day.
Right now, it is warm. Oh, my goodness. Windy, too, but 74 on March 14th in downtown Minneapolis.
Influencer and
Russia.
It's a piece of art. It is very interesting. Could be very euphoric, but could be demoralizing.
On News Talk 830 WCCO.
Wherever you look on social media, there is some fitness or wellness influencer pushing this supplement or this cleanse or that cleanse. And in a time where so many of us are maybe skeptical about big pharma, to me, there is an alarming lack of skepticism about big supplement. I'm going to play you a little sample of some of the counter reaction that is happening from some people on social media to all of this that we are seeing. This is an influencer called Mallory.
Dust, fairy dust. Do you know that your body is filled with fairy dust and is the cause of all of your health problems? It's in our food, it's in our cleaning products. Sometimes they spray it in the sky. It's everywhere. I'm a board-certified wellness influencer, and Western medicine, allopathic medicine, will deny it. But fairy dust is the root cause of all of our health struggles and dis-ease in the world. So if you're
There's an influencer sort of mocking some of the nonsense that's out there because there's so much of this out in the wild, I wanted to bring in a real expert who can give us some advice as to what is good, what is necessary, what do we need. And that is Paul Kriegler, who is with Lifetime. He is the director of nutritional products. He is a registered dietitian, and he's with us at the John Schuster Coldwell Banker Hotline. Paul, it's good to be with you.
Thanks for having me, Jason.
This stuff has to drive you crazy too, right? Because you look at it and you're like, come on. Like, this is a lot of nonsense.
Yeah, was that influencer clip even real?
It was real, but she was mocking the sort of like all of the fairy dust that people are trying to sell. So that was sort of her bit.
Yeah, I mean, some of it's funny, some of it's just a head scratcher, and some of it is downright concerning. You're right. It's a wild west out there in the supplement land.
Lifetime has gotten into this area, and part of it, I imagine, Paul, is because like people know you guys, and maybe there's a little more trust in that space.
Absolutely, yeah. We've had supplements for over 20 years at Lifetime, and we have them because we know it's not going away, and the best way to change a dirty industry is to do it from the inside, is to actually put out the example for the industry to follow.
So help me kind of cut through some of the clutter out here. Why is it that certain things like protein or creatine or collagen? I've seen my wife has come home with collagen. I think she thinks it makes her hair stronger and her nails stronger. What is, well, why don't we start with that? Is this stuff real? Like, is that why a lot of this stuff is blowing up our feeds?
Yes. Yeah. Some of it is very real. I think what consumers are doing with it is, supplements, if you look at the term, it's to supplement your other healthy choices. So it's to fill in gaps that might exist in normal modern diets. So some of it is, in the protein powder and collagen category, it's literally filling in for nutrients that are either lacking or underserved from your food supply. So it's really plugging the gaps in your diet. And then you can go into the specialty world of botanicals and herbal supplements as well. But, the gist of it is consumers are clamoring for convenient ways to get the nutrients they need to be their best.
You guys call your brand of this is LTH, right? Is that right?
Yes.
And so
LTH.
LTH. So tell me, all right, I just turned 50 and I am, trying to age without getting old. I'm trying to get older without getting old. Is there a number one supplement where, like, obviously if people are eating a fully healthy diet and lots of vegetables and getting enough protein, do you even need any of this stuff?
Yeah, a good way to think of it is there's no diet out there that couldn't benefit from some supplementation.
So what would be number one? What would you add in?
What I see most commonly is people think they're getting enough protein to live, that optimal health span that you're striving for, Jason.
Right.
So getting protein at every meal is tough to do. And that's where protein powders serve like the ultimate convenience. It's really more of a food item than it is a dietary supplement in my book. In fact, a lot of our protein powders, because we have many choices, have nutrition facts labels, not supplement facts labels, because they're so simple and pure in the sense that they're just providing protein. The second thing that I see lacking in most people's diets in modern days is the mineral magnesium and omega-3 fish oils.
Oh, the fish oil.
Those are the things that seem to go missing.
Paul, fish oil gives you the burps, though. That's the problem. You get that fishy burp. Nobody wants it. It's true. You can deny it all you want. Everybody knows it's true. I take fish oil, and you pay a price.
Some give you fish burps, but if you're taking a high quality oil that's absorbable, you won't get the burps.
Ah, all right. Okay. That's good.
So that's a telltale sign of like maybe you're bargain shopping in the wrong category.
Well, of course I'm bargain shopping, Paul. Like we all are looking for that, and it is sort of hard to know. Like one of my concerns is that this space is essentially unregulated, right? So it is difficult for a consumer to know: is this legit? Is this worth the money? Is this just going to give me? A texter said that these vitamins and supplements basically give people expensive pee. And I suppose to a certain degree, if your body isn't absorbing it and you're just sending it right out, like, yeah, I understand why that's a concern.
Yeah, it can give you that for sure. It is underregulated. The FDA has authority to shut anyone down in this space. So it's not like there's nobody overseeing it, but it's speed limit regulations. You're really only in trouble if you get caught. So the FDA has a set of regulations that everyone's supposed to follow, but there are bad actors that are able to stand up a business and push out products that, make it to consumers before the FDA catches up and says, hey, you're not doing it the right way. You're duping consumers. You're putting them at risk. Now you're in trouble. So that's the real big downside of this industry is the framework for regulation isn't strong enough. And that's why Lifetime, we feel like we have a role in this space to be an authoritative, high quality, high integrity producer of these products, because we know consumers are asking for them. They're going to take them whether they're regulated the same way as pharmaceuticals or not. So there might as well be some premium brands that are doing things above board.
Paul Kriegler is with Lifetime. LTH is their new line of supplements. It is interesting to me, Paul, as you guys look at Lifetime, originally people thought of as a place where you go to work out. But now I think as the population is getting older and looking for ways to be healthier and a more holistic look at it, it's interesting how Lifetime has sort of made that move as well.
Yeah, absolutely. We're trying to meet consumers where they are, including, our Lifetime app is free for everyone. They can download it, stream fitness classes, engaging programs, built by me and my colleagues that are credentialed experts in the space. So we are truly trying to make a catalog of resources that help people improve and optimize their health span.
When you look at, the products you have, and I said for somebody over 50, but if you have somebody who's maybe like starting on this journey and is a little nervous about it, what is the first thing that you would add into their routine? Would it be protein, or would it be something like a fish oil?
It's highly individualized. So doing a consultation with an expert that you trust, they'll help to narrow down your list of, what would be crucial gap fillers for you. Cool. We built a new product recently that, we all know we should eat plenty of plant matter, greens and vegetables and that sort of thing, but we struggle to do it.
It's hard. It is hard to get like the 5 servings or whatever you're supposed to have.
It is. So that's, we look at what are the needs of a majority of people, and it's getting more plant nutrients, getting more fiber, getting some healthy probiotics, and some of the micronutrients, the vitamins and minerals that just have gone missing in modern diets.
Yeah.
So our Nourish Daily Multigreens, a drinkable multivitamin that's built on a healthy greens platform. So that to me is like, if someone's going to take one product as a supplement, that's the type of product that I would put them on first.
Cool. I don't know. It's so exciting. Like, we know that science can help us in some of these areas. Obviously, a healthy diet is the key, and being active and moving is a key component of that. But, if we can get a little help from the best science out there, I think that's pretty cool. This was really helpful.
Absolutely.
Paul, thank you so much for the time. Paul Kriegler from Lifetime, their director of nutritional products, with us on CCO. Let's break. We'll come back, and I'll ask this question, which came from a conversation that I overheard at dinner last night. Is it better or worse if you are a guy whose wife leaves you for another woman? Real North Loop drama. Coming back on CCO.
Don't touch that dial. More Drive Time with DeRusha coming up on News Talk 830 WCCO.
All right, if you are looking for protein, if you are looking for lean, delicious food, I suggest Minnesota pork. It's Jason here for my friends at the Minnesota Pork Board. It's the weekend. It is a time where so many of us spend that extra time making a special meal for our family or for our friends. And today for lunch, I had some delicious pork tenderloin, little leftover from dinner that Alyssa made earlier this week. Some pork tenderloin, tons of garlic on that, pepper, mushrooms. Oh, lean, packed with protein. Definitely, many of us choose to add supplements into the mix. Consider adding Minnesota pork into that mix. You want to be full and you want to be full of protein? How about a pork chop? It's got 50 to 60 grams, depending on the size of that pork chop. That is fantastic. The other factor here is that our Minnesota pig farmers are working so hard to take care of the environment, take care of their animals, and take care of their community. For me, it makes me feel good about supporting this important Minnesota farming industry. Do your part. Go to your grocery store and your butcher shop, and let's have Minnesota pork for dinner tonight. Oh, yeah.
At the University of Minnesota, our goal is to make sure what happens in Minnesota doesn't stay in Minnesota, because the discoveries we're making have implications for the health of the world. From the cancer-detecting AI model we built in Rochester, to how we're redefining mental health in Morris, to breakthroughs we're making in Crookston, Duluth, and the Twin Cities. Our discoveries start here, but they make the world healthier everywhere. The University of Minnesota, driven to discover.
So today we have Albert from UCare to help decomplicate Medicare plans for people who are just starting to learn about it. Tell me a little bit about Original Medicare and Medicare supplement plans.
Original Medicare is designed to cover about 80% of your overall medical expenditures. And then you have your Medicare supplement plans. They're designed to help cover the other 20% that Medicare leaves off. Most other costs are covered under your supplement plan. They do offer a nationwide coverage as well. They will be accepted anywhere that Original Medicare is accepted. Medicare supplement plans will provide a level of predictability instead of thinking about co-pays and constant costs. You pay your monthly premium one time a month and your medical costs are mostly covered.
So why should someone go with UCare?
So UCare does have competitive rates. Some of the lowest rates statewide that you can find, no cost fitness options and hearing aid discounts, and a large dedicated broker network that's willing to take all the time needed to help you find the right plan to secure your long-term health goals.
For more, contact a local broker and visit ucare.org.
I'm Karen Heinz with Baird Private Wealth Management. For many of us, life is busy. Balancing family, career, friends, and community, plus finding the time and focus to keep your family's financial plan on track can be a challenge. At Baird, we understand. Our advisors partner with you to create a financial plan that's uniquely yours, one that gives you peace of mind and confidence so you can focus on what matters most. Discover the Baird difference. Visit BairdTwinCities.com.
Celebrate twice as much with NordVPN's birthday deal. Get 72% off and a coupon for up to 1 year free. Visit NordVPN and discover the benefits. Secure up to 10 devices with a single account. Encrypt your online traffic. Reduce the risk of phishing, scams, and malware with NordVPN's Threat Protection Pro. Get the special birthday deal at NordVPN.com. Additional terms apply. NordVPN.
Hey, Green Gobbler here. So you've got a clogged drain in your bathroom. Water in the sink's overstaying its welcome. You're spitting today's toothpaste on top of yesterday's toothpaste. You hope that it go away. Yeah, clogs don't just go away. I make them go away. I'm Green Gobbler, the only clog dissolver you need. I'm bleach-free, safe for your pipes, and I work. Guaranteed or your money back. Because I never met a clog that was going to unclog itself. Green Gobbler. Let the gobbler get it.
Now on CCO, let's do traffic and weather together. First, a check of the drive and what shape the roads are in.
94 westbound past Highway 25. The grass fire appears to be under control. Still some fire crews off to the right shoulder and the slowdown yet as you make your way out of Monticello. 694 eastbound watching some slowdowns there as you move between County Road 81 over to Brooklyn Boulevard. If you're on the east side of the Metro, North 35 East, some slowing Maryland Avenue to Roselawn. Jerry Peterson, New Talk 830 WCCO.
March is National Sleep Month. Who among us doesn't want to sleep better? Jordana here, and I want to share some information from my friends at Mini Leaf. A buy two, get one free on the Sleep Night Gummies during the month of March. MINNELEAF.com.
Forecast time with an update on current conditions and a quick look at what's ahead the next few days.
Mini Leaf brings us the weather forecast. Rain by evening, isolated thunder. We only get down to 48. Tomorrow, the rain may get a little snow in the afternoon. High in the 40s. This is going to be a weird day. There is a slight risk of severe storms tonight in southern Minnesota, hail and wind. There's a blizzard warning in far western Minnesota for snow and winds 50 miles an hour. Sunday, just cold. 39. And by cold, I mean normal. 39 right now. Yeah, it's 75 on CCO.
You're listening to Drive Time with DeRusha. Video streaming live on YouTube and always on your radio at News Talk 830 WCCO.
So last night, I'm at a new restaurant in the North Loop, sitting at the bar with Alyssa, my wife. We are at St. Pierre, which is right next to Bar La Grassa. And next to us, I see my friend Stephanie Hansen. You may know Stephanie from TV, and she's got a radio show on another station. She's there. It's My Talk, whatever we can say, on Saturday. So she, like, what do I care, right? Like, we pretend like
they exist.
No other radio stations exist. We only speak of Odyssey radio stations on this plane. So Stephanie Hansen and her sister are there, and there's another couple right next to them. And as soon as they leave, Stephanie tells me this story. The last time she saw this guy was at a garage sale at his house. He was selling all his stuff because he was getting a divorce.
Oh.
Awkward.
Unfortunate.
It's awkward to go through someone else's stuff and be like, are you sure you want $1 for this? When it's selling stuff because your wife left you. Stephanie, at dinner last time, makes a comment about who his wife left him for. She asked how, whatever. I don't know. He said something. She said something. I don't know the detail. Bottom line is this guy's wife left him for her.
Oh.
It just got me thinking about, like, if Alyssa were to leave me, I would prefer she leave me for another woman. Because then it's not like you're a failure as a husband, you're a failure as a male partner. Then it's, I really wasn't into this anyway. Right?
Let's
like,
unpack
isn't that better?
Let's unpack that, shall we? Like,
I mean,
do you
have
think
20 seconds?
I have 20 seconds. This is not enough time to talk about this, but do you think another person's decisions are a direct reflection of you? Because that's what you're kind of
when someone
projecting.
leaves you, it feels like
But what
that,
if it's not about you, Jason?
Well, it wouldn't be, especially if they left you for another woman. Then you get to wash your hands of the whole thing. You're like, this wasn't about me at all.
That's true.
That's the benefit. That's the beauty. I think you win. You win.
So is she.
I'll tell you, I spent a lot of time thinking about this man's wife with another woman. Now hit the music.
Okay. All right.
That's the key.
Hear about it? Talk about it. Add your voice to the mix.
Enter the chat.
The CCO Talk and Text Line. 651-461-9226.
Oh, hi. Yeah. I was so excited about my own joke, I forgot about getting you to come with me to Greece. Think of the fun we could have in Greece. You get the DeRusha radio show in Greece unplugged. You know what I mean? If you think, like, imagine what I'm holding back, what I don't say on the air. You get to hear all of that by going on vacation to Greece with me and Alyssa and Colette. Here's the deal. I want you to know about this special info meeting that we're doing Thursday at noon. Thursday, March 20th at noon. We are doing a Zoom, so we'll talk about all the details. I want to get you to Greece. 3 nights in Athens, 3 nights in Mykonos, 3 nights in Santorini. Colette covering all of the details. So let's go. WCCOradio.com/Greece.
We've all got a thing. Yes, even you. If you love fashion, car parts, trading cards, whatever you're into, it's on eBay. So go find the thing that keeps you up at night. eBay. Things people love.
News Talk 830 WCCO KMNB HD2 Minneapolis, St. Paul.
As the days grow shorter and the temperatures drop, many find their spirits sinking in unison. This isn't just a fleeting winter mood. For many, it's seasonal affective disorder, or SAD, a form of depression that's influenced by the changing seasons. Those affected might experience lethargy, feelings of hopelessness, weight changes, or difficulty concentrating. You don't have to suffer in silence or solitude. Light therapy, talk therapy, and even certain medications can provide relief. It's crucial to recognize the signs in ourselves.
News Talk 830, WCCO, KMNB HD2, Minneapolis, St. Paul.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Progressive Insurance.
I'm Stacey Lynn in Washington, where lawmakers are working to kick the can down the road for another 6 months to keep the government open. Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer isn't a fan of the bill, but says he will vote yes to pass it.
The CR bill is a bad bill. But as bad as the CR is, I believe that allowing Donald Trump to take even more power via a government shutdown is a far worse option.
Outside the Department of Education headquarters in D.C. today, a few hundred protesters chanted and held up signs against President Trump's mass layoffs, part of his administration's goal to dismantle the agency. CBS's Linda Kenyon reports President Trump just wrapped up an unusually political speech at the Justice Department.
It's unusual because presidents traditionally have sought to maintain a firewall between themselves and the Justice Department. But President Trump used his appearance to praise his allies, and he vowed to expose his enemies. In a speech that relitigated his many grievances attributed to the Biden administration, former President Joe Biden himself, and the court system, the president also lashed out at the media. He said media outlets which cover him critically are, quote, illegal and corrupt.
The FAA is permanently halting helicopter operations near Reagan National Airport in Washington. The closure comes following the deadly mid-air collision in January. Meanwhile, the NTSB is investigating the latest airline incident when an American Airlines jet caught fire in Denver. CBS's Chris Van Cleve tells us the plane experienced engine problems, which led to an emergency landing.
2 investigators from the National Transportation Safety Board are here in Denver looking into what caused this accident, trying to determine if, in fact, it was all kicked off by that engine issue.
Hamas says it's agreed to a proposal to release an American being held in Gaza. CBS's Remy Inocencio is in Tel Aviv.
He's 21 from New Jersey and joined the Israeli military as a dual citizen. As for the remains of the 4 dead hostages that Hamas says that it could release, they're referred to by Hamas as having dual citizenship as well, but their identities so far haven't been made public.
They are bracing for some nasty weather in the Deep South. WWL's Dave Cohen.
The National Weather Service is warning Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, and Florida that severe weather is likely on Saturday.
We could even be looking at not just tornado activity, but strong tornadoes.
As many as 150 million Americans are in the storm zone. Stocks rallied on Wall Street today. The Dow closed up 675 points. This is CBS News.
Brought to you by Progressive Insurance. You could save big when you bundle your auto, home, motorcycle, RV, or boat. Visit Progressive.com.
Now from Minnesota's radio station, let's get you caught up with Minnesota's latest headlines and biggest stories on News Talk 830 WCCO.
Partly cloudy, 75 degrees at 4:03. I'm Laura Oakes. Lawmakers and family members impacted by a deadly drunk driving crash at Park Tavern in St. Louis Park last fall are calling for changes to Minnesota's DWI policies.
Now, lawmakers say they're pushing to require repeat offenders to use the interlock system. Interlock checks a driver's blood alcohol levels before letting them get behind the wheel. Senator Ron Latz explains.
While you're driving, you got to blow into it to start the car, and you got rolling retests. So as you're driving, you're also blowing into the interlock every 5, 10, 15, 20 minutes to make sure that no one gets the car started, has an open bottle, and starts drinking after they've gotten behind the wheel.
He added, while it won't stop all drunk drivers, the law is focused on preventing licensed drivers with a history of multiple DWIs from offending again.
That's WCCO's Taylor Rivera. Well, the signs are up. The troopers are out, kicking off an extra DWI enforcement detail on the roads for the St. Patrick's Day weekend. State Office of Traffic Safety Director Mike Hansen.
A pocket full of 4-leaf clovers are not your get-out-of-jail-free card. If you make that decision, you will pay the price when you wind up in the backseat of a squad car. And along that same line, and a bit more morbid, a bushel full of 4-leaf clovers will not keep you out of the morgue in the event the worst case scenario happens.
Hansen says St. Patrick's Day is becoming as busy as New Year's Eve when it comes to officers in Minnesota making drunk driving arrests.
I mean, that was a little much, don't you think? Like, I know we're trying to be clever.
He's painting the picture.
He painted the picture. The fact is, the commentary is good, but like, my word.
It's a grim statistic.
It is a grim statistic.
That's for sure.
Yes.
Over the last 5 St. Patrick's Day weekends, there have been 10 fatal crashes in the state. Minnesota nursing home workers say they will strike later this month.
The 2-day strike will involve hundreds of workers across 4 nursing homes in the Twin Cities on March 25th and 26th. Workers say a short staffing crisis caused by stagnant wages is not only hurting them, but the residents they care for. In a statement, the Long-Term Care Imperative says SEIU, the union representing the workers, should call on Governor Tim Walz to stop cutting funding in his current budget for long-term care, and that providers have advocated for higher wages, including union members. Mark Fry, News Talk 830 WCCO.
University of Minnesota Director of Athletics Mark Coyle says they plan to move quickly in hiring a new head coach for the men's basketball team following Ben Johnson's firing this week. Coyle says the goal is to find someone who embraces Minnesota.
Doing it right, Minnesota matters. Promoting our institution, promoting our athletics program, promoting the many benefits we have, and we need somebody who's going to generate excitement. You know, at the end of the day, I'm a firm believer when you're winning games, people want to be a part of that. They come to those games, they support those games.
Coyle says they want to be efficient and move quickly, considering the transfer portal is now open for current Gopher athletes and the changing landscape involving name, image, and likeness. Well, it must be mid-March if Minnesota has a blizzard warning to talk about. Despite today's sunshine and summer-like 70s in much of the state, western and west central Minnesota are under a blizzard warning starting at 5 a.m. And strong to even severe thunderstorms are expected in most of the state starting tonight. Meteorologist Chris Schaefer will have the very latest on what we can expect coming up in 1 minute. It's 4:06 on WCCO.
Now on CCO, let's do traffic and weather together. First, a check of the drive and what shape the roads are in.
Crash in place, 35W northbound is make way toward 494. The activity off to the right side. Patrol is with it. 494 is jammed up both directions, heading toward 35W. Westbound, it starts at Portland Avenue. Eastbound, slowing at East Bush Lake Road. 394 eastbound, that's a slow ride. Worth Parkway into downtown Minneapolis. North 35 east, still a bit slow as you move past Randolph into St. Paul. Trey Peterson, News Talk 830 WCCO.
Jordana Green here. I pray you and your family are always safe. But if there's ever a time where you need an advocate after an accident, let Mike Bryant of Bradshaw and Bryant help you. He will work with and for you in dealing with the insurance company. Call 800-770-7008 today. Bradshaw and Bryant, seeking justice for the injured.
Forecast time with an update on current conditions and a quick look at what's ahead the next few days.
Brought to you by Bradshaw and Bryant, personal injury attorneys seeking justice for the injured. You can find them at minnesotapersonalinjury.com. And here's WCCO TV Chief Meteorologist Chris Schaefer.
Rain showers coming up from the south. There could be a few isolated thunderstorms. There's a slight risk of severe weather down in parts of southern Minnesota. 48 the overnight low. Tomorrow, the temperatures will fall throughout the day. We'll see rain showers here, blizzard conditions in extreme western Minnesota. By the time the snow gets here, it's pretty much fizzling out. We expect no accumulation, but a windy day and a cool day. Sunday, mostly sunny, a bit breezy with a high of 39.
Beautiful right now, partly cloudy, 75 at News Talk 830 WCCO.
No fluff, no filter, just straight talk from local voices who get Minnesota. News Talk 830 WCCO.
Please stay. I want you, I need you, oh God. Don't take.
Drive time with DeRusha in effect. And you know what time it is. It's 4 o'clock. We only have 1 hour left of the show today because Twins baseball is on at 5 o'clock. But we are going to play Card DeSharks for $50 to Parlor. So to all the Jester Concepts restaurants. So I need 2 contestants right now. 651-461-9226. If you are on YouTube, the WCCO radio channel, and X at DeRusha J, and Facebook, WCCO Radio, we're streaming, and I put our number on the screen a while ago. So you have a head start, Laura, if you're watching on the video stream. But I need 2 contestants to play Card DeSharks for $50. Now, last night we went to Burrow, which is, let me turn, there you go.
Okay.
Which is one of the Jester Concepts restaurants.
Yes.
And it was terrific. We had great service, very, very nice. So if somebody's getting $50, they can go get the famous Parlor Burger.
That's right.
You go to Butcher and the Boar, or Starling and Edina, all those options.
My kid had one of those Parlor Burgers a few weeks ago and could not believe it. It just blew his mind.
It is like the Parlor Burger's been around for, I don't know, 15 years,
Yeah.
I think. And it's still the best. Yeah. I think it's the best. It's a great smash burger. I think we have our contestants. Is that true? It looks like we have 2 contestants, Lindsay.
Indeed. We have Colette and Edith
So
joining us.
So let's hit the song. Let's hear it. Let's hear the Card DeSharks theme, and I will do the poem that came in from Kristen Olson today. Jason was roasted by his son. His foibles displayed to everyone. No foibles for you, though, if you played today. You could be the victor on this breezy and warm Friday on Card DeSharks. Very nice, Kristen.
Comes through again.
She does indeed. Let's say hello to Colette. Colette, you are on Card DeSharks. How are you?
I am. I'm good. Basking in the sun, kind of.
I know it's a little weird, isn't it? So many
Yeah, it is.
businesses downtown still have their heat on.
Yeah, these buildings don't know what to do right now.
I know. I don't really know what to do. 75 degrees on.
I've had some windows open.
Yeah. Yes. It
Windows
reminds me.
open, yeah.
Remember that St. Patrick's Day when it was 80?
Yes.
Reminds me of that. Colette, where are you calling from?
Dayton.
Colette in Dayton. Beautiful. All right, Colette, stand by. You are competing against Edith. Edith, welcome to Card DeSharks. How are you?
I'm great, thanks. How are you?
I'm excellent. Edith, where are you calling from?
Well, I'm in my car right now on my way to New Ulm.
All right. Oh, beautiful. Love New Ulm.
Mhm.
Look, if you're looking for a fish fry, I mean, New Ulm has got to be where to go, right?
You're battered.
That's where I'm going.
Oh,
Yeah.
where are you going for fish in New Ulm?
To the Legion.
To the Legion. Why not? Why not? I am
Why not?
my family is a member of the American Turners, and there is a Turner Hall right in New Ulm. So I've been to like
yes, there is
national like gymnastics competitions in New Ulm. And
What
all.
is a Turner?
It's like it's like their thing is sound mind, sound body. It started as like a gymnastics training,
Okay.
but it became kind of a social club also. So like my grandpa and my parents. There you go. So
Love
I've been to New Ulm. All right, Colette. Well, and obviously shells. You get some shells fire brick tonight. You're good to go. Colette and Edith playing Card DeSharks. We are playing for $50 that you can use at any of the Jester Concepts restaurants. So we're talking Butcher and the Boar, PS Steak, wonderful steakhouse right by the Walker Arts Center. You got Parlor, which is new in Excelsior, and Starling, their newest restaurant in Edina near 50th and Highway 100. So pretty good stuff. And the way this works is it's a survey and it's a battle for control of the board. If you want to see that Card DeSharks is legit, Laura Oakes on our live stream right now is standing in front of the wonderful.
I don't know which camera.
I
I'm
know
on.
it's
This
you're
one?
on
This
that one right there. There you go. Yeah. Laura's got her own camera. She's got the board, the red cards on
I'm
top,
ready.
the blue cards on the bottom. We'll start with a question that goes to you, Colette. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Colette, we asked 100 single women. 100 single women. Have you ever attended an ex's wedding? I think that's kind of cool, right? Like
Sure.
if your relationship is that good,
Yeah.
that you would go to an ex's wedding. But
Whoa.
yeah, also that. Also that. Oh, Colette, pretty crazy, right? Are you married?
I am. Yeah.
It's hard
I've
to
never been to an ex's wedding.
no, it's sort of hard to imagine, don't you think? How many out of 100 said yes, I have been to an ex's wedding?
33.
Colette says 33. Edith, what do you think about that? The idea of going to an ex's wedding?
I think it would be okay.
Yeah. I mean, it would probably help if you were remarried. I don't know. It sort of depends, like, where are you? Were you left? Were you the leaver? Like, so many questions, Laura, right?
Right.
Yeah, it's a lot of drama.
Right.
Well, Colette said 33. You can go higher or lower than 33. What do you think, Edith?
I think I'm going to go lower.
Edith says lower. The actual number is just 6. It is lower. And Edith, that means you get control of the board. And you have a question to answer. Do you want the red cards or the blue cards, Edith?
I'll take the blue.
All right. Edith goes blue. And Laura's going to flip over your opening card. And it is a king. Nice opening card to get things started. Edith, king, you want to go higher or lower?
I'm going to go lower.
Lower than a king? It is a 7. It is lower, but that's a little bit of a tricky card. You get a choice here. As always, you can freeze, and that locks out your opponent and gives you the chance to try to win another question and change the card. Or you can roll the dice on the 7 and go higher and lower. What do you want to do, Edith?
I'm going to freeze.
Edith freezes. That's smart. Prevents Colette from having a turn. And Edith, it means our next question goes to you. We asked 100 teenagers, if time travel became possible, would you visit yourself in the future? Ooh. What an existential question. Laura, would you want to, like, if you could time travel 20 years, would you want to visit future Laura?
I don't think so.
Lindsay, you're the youngster of our group. What would you do if you could time travel, I don't know, 20, 30 years? Would you want to see what your future is? How old are you?
I'm going to be 33 next week.
Yeah, so if you could see 53-year-old Lindsay, would you do it?
No, I don't want to know.
20 years from now, 70-year-old Jason, I sort of would want to visit myself. Yeah, I would want to see, like, am I still doing this? Does radio still exist?
Right. I know. I'm not nervous to visit myself, but I just don't want to ruin what has yet to unfold. If it needs to be kind of spontaneous and
it is sort of
cool,
that Back to the Future thing too, where you're like, I don't want to mess it up. I don't want to go in there and mess up. Yeah. Kind of a fun question. Edith, they're asking teenagers though, 100 teenagers. Would you visit yourself in the future? What do you think?
I think 55% said they would.
55 says Edith. Colette, what do you think about that? Higher or lower?
Higher.
Edith says higher than 55. The actual number of teenagers who said, yep, I would love to visit myself in the future. And Colette, you said lower?
Higher.
You said higher. Okay, just want to make sure I get it right. It is higher. It's 58, though. Edith, what a good guess.
Oh,
you are so close. But Colette.
Yeah.
Colette, that means you get your first shot at the cards. You have the red cards. Laura's going to flip your opening card, and you get a 10 to get things started. Now, you won the question, so you can change the card if you want, or you can just go higher or lower. What do you think, Colette?
Lower.
Colette goes lower than a 10. It is lower. It's a 4. And Colette, you are off and cooking. It is time to take a break, though. Colette's still in charge. We'll see what you do on that 4. I have a feeling I know what she's going to do on a 4. This is not the best tease in the history of the world, but stand by. Colette and Edith, 2 great contestants coming back as we play for $50. Thanks to our friends at Jester Concepts here on Card DeSharks.
Drive Time with DeRusha is hitting the off-ramp for a quick stop on News Talk 830 WCCO.
It's Jason here with a question. When is the last time you took a good look at your windows? I've been looking at my bedroom window. It's got like that little condensation you get inside. Reach out to my friends at Window Nation. If your windows, especially if your windows are over 20 years old, it's probably time to have an expert out to take a look at it. And the experts at Window Nation, right here, the local experts, will come out to your home. What I love is they bring the showroom to you. So they'll bring the windows so you can see what your options are. They'll do a full inspection. They'll tell you which ones need to be replaced, which ones don't. When I had them over to my house, they told me most of my windows were fine. That's integrity. That's people you can trust. So I like that kind of way of doing business. You'll get a fast, free estimate right now if you reach out to 866-90-NATION or go to windownation.com. Buy 2 windows, get 2 free. 0 down, no payments, no interest for 2 years. That's a great deal at windownation.com.
Many times, patients have symptoms they didn't know were actually related to their airway breathing issues.
I was suffering from sinus issues, jaw issues, and neck pain. I guess I just kind of had my breaking point.
Unfortunately, this is typical. But until you get to the root of your problem, it's going to just persist. Fortunately, Jody took action, and the results were typical as well.
My quality of life is so different. But one of the first things that I noticed was my breathing. I don't ever remember being able to breathe like that.
Being able to breathe freely is life-changing, and the effects can go beyond that.
Sleeping better, having more energy. And it seemed as if all of those symptoms that I had just melted away.
And thank heavens for that, because at Advent, results are what drive us, helping you breathe well so you could live better.
Results may vary. Most insurance accepted.
At the University of Minnesota, our goal is to make sure what happens in Minnesota doesn't stay in Minnesota, because the discoveries we're making have implications for the health of the world. From the cancer-detecting AI model we built in Rochester, to how we're redefining mental health in Morris, to breakthroughs we're making in Crookston, Duluth, and the Twin Cities. Our discoveries start here, but they make the world healthier everywhere. The University of Minnesota, driven to discover.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Hi, I'm Chuck McDowell, the timeshare cancellation guy and founder of Wesley Financial Group. And I want to set the record straight. I am not an attorney. I've never wanted to be an attorney. And the truth is, I really don't even like attorneys. If I sound like an attorney or if I look like an attorney, I'll apologize. But what I've learned in my 15 years in the timeshare cancellation business is you don't need to be an attorney to get folks out of their timeshare. At Wesley, we've helped over 40,000 families cancel their timeshare without me being an attorney. And I want to share with you how we do it. Just give my office a call and you will not talk to an attorney. And I guarantee if we take you as a client, we'll get you out of your timeshare or you'll pay nothing.
Call now for your free information kit. 800-714-9090. 800-714-9090. 800-714-9090.
When you haven't found love, it can feel like everyone else has. It's in every movie, every song, and all the PDA. Looking for love sucks. Thankfully, California Psychics can give you the guidance you need to find the one. We guarantee if your reading isn't life-changing, it's free. And new customers receive 20 minutes for just $20. Visit CaliforniaPsychics.com and experience the joy of certainty. California Psychics.
Celebrate twice as much with NordVPN's birthday deal. Get 72% off and a coupon for up to 1 year free. Visit NordVPN and discover the benefits. Secure up to 10 devices with a single account. Encrypt your online traffic. Reduce the risk of phishing, scams, and malware with NordVPN's Threat Protection Pro. Get the special birthday deal at NordVPN.com. Additional terms apply. NordVPN.
This is Drive Time with DeRusha.
Most of it is just senseless, ignorant drivel. And I go, why do I even want to hear anything you have to say?
That's exactly right.
When the ignorance is this willful.
Yeah.
On News Talk 830 WCCO.
Card DeSharks in effect. We're playing for $50. Somebody's going to Parlor or PS Steak or Starling, great Jester concept restaurants. We appreciate their support of Card DeSharks. We do this every Friday at 4 o'clock. It's America's fastest high-low card-related afternoon AM radio game for sure.
right.
Laura. Yeah, not even close.
Oversized cards and everything.
It is, and you can watch it streaming on YouTube. Just go to WCCO Radio, subscribe to YouTube. We're also streaming on Facebook and on my X account as well. All right. We have Colette in Dayton and Edith in New Ulm, and Colette had just flipped over a 4 Colette, you have 3 cards separating you and victory. You can freeze at any time, but you're on a 4. Do you want to go higher or lower, Colette?
Higher.
Higher than a 4. It's an 8. Oh, that's a good flip, but yes, exactly. You can freeze, of course, or you can roll the dice. What do you think, Colette?
I'll go higher.
Oh, she's going for it. I love it. I love a gambler. Higher than an 8. It's a queen, and the gamble paid off. Edith is sitting there thinking oof. You thought you had her, Edith, and Colette came through with
I know.
Now she's on a queen. Colette, 1 card separating you and victory. If you're wrong, you go all the way back to the start. But, boy, a queen is a nice position to be in. Do you want to freeze or go higher or lower, Colette?
Lower.
Colette for the win. Lower than a queen? Yes, she did it. It's a 10.
Yay.
Colette. Nice
Yay.
job. Edith, you just got steamrolled there in one go. What can I tell you?
I did.
Oh, my goodness. But you know what? Edith is still winning because she's having fish fry in New Ulm tonight.
Right.
For sure.
Edith, have a good time at the Legion. We appreciate you calling and playing. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
There goes Edith. Colette, stay on the line because we're going to get your information. And anybody who wants to watch Card DeSharks, you can watch it back on YouTube. You just rewind the live feed, and there it is. Laura, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Laura's off for the weekend now, I think, because Twins baseball is on at 5 o'clock.
That's right.
Laura Oakes, who just won. What is it? Tell everybody what award. Oh, we can't tell it. It's embargoed. Never mind.
Never mind. We'll
I got
talk about it
excited
in
for a
April.
minute, but I can't talk about it. This is how
Thank
this
you.
goes, but I'm excited for you. So have a good weekend. Laura Oakes with us. Lots more show. Little more show coming up here. 30 minutes left to go. When we come back, we are going to talk about the kerfuffle around the firing of Ben Johnson. He was fired reportedly in the middle of the night. I want to know if anyone's ever been fired in a good way. Have you ever lost your job in a way that's made you feel good? 651-461-9226. Drive Time coming back in a minute.
More Drive Time with DeRusha is on the way following these messages on News Talk 830 WCCO.
You know, this weekend, the weather is going to be a little crummy. It's a great time to go shopping. And I recommend you go to the Galleria in Edina and see my friends at J.H. & Sons. It's Jason here for my go-to place for men's clothing. I love J.H. & Sons. I've been wearing the clothes. I get there so often. The best tailoring, the best tailor in the Twin Cities in Dean. This guy is a legend. And it is so nice to go to a men's clothing store where they've got a tailor right there in the shop. You can get measured up right away. You get your clothes back quicker. And they know how to do it. You're never going to end up on that menswear Twitter account as an example of how not to dress when you go to J.H. & Sons. Now, you should go to jhandsons.com, their website, because you can sign up for their email list. And I just got an email from them today with all the new spring fashions that are in store. Man, the designs, the fabrics, the brands. We're talking about Centaurio, 100 Hands, Magnani, these beautiful kind of loafers that are so in style right now. Go see the experts. J.H. & Sons will take care of you. They take care of me. It is premium menswear and premium service. Check them out at the Galleria. Tell them you heard me talk about them on Drive Time. That's J.H. & Sons.
Some things in life just aren't reliable, like the check engine light that only comes on after you've broken down. That motion sensor faucet in the airport bathroom.
When was this building built? The 40s?
Like that buddy who swears he'll help you move, but on the day of... Trust isn't given, it's earned. For over 100 years, when it's mattered most, Minnesotans come here. News Talk 830 WCCO.
It's Liftbridge Farm Grill Fish Fry season.
Come to Manitou Bar and Kitchen in White Bear Lake or Gabe's in St. Paul tonight.
Brad from Liftbridge, Emily from Gabe's in Manitou. You guys have lunch and dinner specials starting at $15.50 every day through the end of Lent.
Absolutely. All you can eat farm grill beer battered fish fry on Fridays.
Plus our new Lost Landing Hazy IPA on happy hour every day in March.
You can order online or reserve your table now at ManitouGrill.com and GabesMN.com. Cheers.
Winter won't last forever. Get ready for patio season with By the Yard. Denny Long here. The preseason sale happening now through March 15th. Order now. Save big. Be ready to enjoy the warm weather while everyone else is scrambling to buy. For 30 years, they've built maintenance-free furniture that lasts a lifetime, backed by a 35-year warranty and delivered directly to you. By the Yard's preseason sale ends March 15th. Shop bytheyard.net or visit the showrooms, Woodbury, Maple Grove, or Jordan. By the Yard. Life is better outdoors.
So today we have Albert from UCare to help decomplicate Medicare plans for people who are just starting to learn about it. Tell me a little bit about Original Medicare and Medicare supplement plans.
Original Medicare is designed to cover about 80% of your overall medical expenditures. And then you have your Medicare supplement plans. They're designed to help cover the other 20% that Medicare leaves off. Most other costs are covered under your supplement plan. They do offer a nationwide coverage as well. They will be accepted anywhere that Original Medicare is accepted. Medicare supplement plans will provide a level of predictability instead of thinking about co-pays and constant costs. You pay your monthly premium one time a month and your medical costs are mostly covered.
So why should someone go with UCare?
So UCare does have competitive rates. Some of the lowest rates statewide that you can find, no cost fitness options and hearing aid discounts, and a large dedicated broker network that's willing to take all the time needed to help you find the right plan to secure your long-term health goals.
For more, contact a local broker and visit ucare.org.
Attention, have you racked up $10,000 or more in credit card debt? Are you barely getting by making minimum payments? With credit card debt reaching all-time highs, National Debt Relief is notifying consumers about significant debt relief options currently being made available to help those with overwhelming credit card debt. These options may reduce a large portion of credit card debt for those who qualify. You don't need to declare bankruptcy or take out a consolidation loan, and you may only have to pay back a fraction of what you owe, even if you have bad credit. National Debt Relief has already reduced the credit card debt for more than 550,000 consumers, so don't wait. If you owe $10,000, $20,000, or even $100,000 in credit card debt, you can now take advantage of this financial debt relief as the cost of living continues to skyrocket. To check what debt reduction you may qualify for, call 800-355-8282. That's 800-355-8282. Again, that's 800-355-8282.
Now on CCO, let's do traffic and weather together. First, a check of the drive and what shape the roads are in.
35W northbound and 494 crash has been taken care of. Light levels of traffic now through the stretch. South 35W, some slowing there, though, between 82nd heading down to the Minnesota River Bridge. Got to find the crosstown jammed up in both directions, basically between Tracy Avenue and Cedar Avenue. And West 94 slows into Minneapolis as we move past Riverside. Jerry Peterson, News Talk 830 WCCO.
Jason DeRusha here. The Canopy Group represents 16 different insurance companies, not just one. They give you options. Each year, they'll review your program so you don't have to, making sure you get the best coverage at the best price. Do like I did. Go to thecanopygroup.com.
Forecast time with an update on current conditions and a quick look at what's ahead the next few days.
The Canopy Group, nice enough to bring us the forecast, and we are on alert tonight for rain and maybe some thunder. Here's Chris Schaefer.
Expecting some rain showers this evening. There is a slight risk of a few severe thunderstorms in extreme southern Minnesota. Tomorrow, rain showers will be scattered in nature. We could see some snowflakes mix in. We will not see the accumulation that folks in western Minnesota will. There, several inches will fall and accumulate, and with the strong winds gusting over 50 miles per hour, they'll be in blizzard conditions. We may see a few flakes here tomorrow afternoon, but no accumulation expected. Sunday, mostly sunny, a little breezy with a high of 39. We're back in the 50s on St. Patrick's Day.
Right now, it's hot. It is crazy out there. Windy, yes, with the wind blowing at 15, gusting to 30, but it is 75 in downtown Minneapolis on CCO.
This is Drive Time with DeRusha.
I like it. I like the idea.
Mm-hmm. DeRusha on News Talk 830 WCCO.
Ooh, you think it's cheese?
I've never been fired. I quit a job once before I should have been fired. Sort of remarkable that I've never been fired considering this profession, Lindsay, Have you ever been fired?
I've been let go for budgetary reasons, but I've never been asked to leave forcefully.
I quit a job once because it was a radio job in Milwaukee while I was in college. I worked Friday night into Saturday morning, the overnight hours at a TV station. So I worked on the assignment desk, listening to police scanners. I was under strict instructions, unless it was a double murder, to not call in a photographer to wake someone up to send them to a crime scene. But I was there to make sure that, something didn't happen. But then so I worked overnight Friday into Saturday, and then Sunday I was supposed to be at this AM radio station in the middle of a cornfield in suburban Milwaukee. Because there was a church that bought live, like the church mass would go live on the radio station. And I am here to tell you that no matter how Christian you are, when you're spending money for a live broadcast on AM 1250 WEMP and the dumb college kid is sleeping in instead of flipping the switch to turn your church service on the radio,
You're in your Sunday best.
you're not feeling very Christian. I would say their message to me wasn't the most godly. Maybe it was what I would characterize it as Old Testament messaging, not New Testament.
Calvin would be a fan.
Correct.
Okay.
So I resigned rather than being fired. I'm like, clearly I can't. I'm not reliable and I need to step down. There's been a bit of a kerfuffle about the Gophers firing their basketball coach, Ben Johnson, in the middle of the night. The U dropped the news at 1 a.m. And, there's all this is so inhumane and blah, 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 blah. My question is this. Is there ever a good way to be fired? Who cares? What is wrong with you people? Oh, they were so mean. What? Like, if they had fired the guy at like 10 p.m., it would have been fine. But 10:30 is sort of sleepy time. It's a little pushing that. What are we doing? Do we have to get mad about everything? Just the dumbest stuff. Why would they fire him in the middle of the night? They fired him. He has a contract. He's going to get a couple $1,000,000 for sitting around playing solitaire. Who cares? It's just not very nice. Now, the other part of this that is weird is the athletic director, Mark Coyle, was in Indianapolis, where the Gophers lost in the Big Ten tournament, also in Indianapolis. But like, apparently they were in different parts of town.
Wait, he didn't go?
Well, I don't know if he was at the game.
Why isn't he at the game?
Because Coyle was for meetings, because he's on the tournament selection committee.
Oh.
So he was meeting about like who's going to be in March Madness.
I see.
So they're sitting there they're like, well, they had how many quad one victories did they have? How many?
They beat Weber State by 30.
A lot of this. Well, they're on the way up. They're on the way down. Bop, 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 bop. Their team doesn't travel well, like whatever nonsense they come up with. So apparently, like, Coyle couldn't have caught an Uber to the other side in Indianapolis to fire him in the locker room or whatever. But if he fired him in the locker room, some bobos would be like, well, this is mean too. They didn't even let him fly home. He had to get a commercial flight back.
Traumatize the players.
Grow up. There's no good way to fire someone. And if you get fired, do you care? Are you like, man, I wish they were a little nicer about the way they took my livelihood away from me? Is this just like a high-profile issue? What normal person is like, well, I got fired today, but man, they were so nice about it.
But aren't you taught to like leave things on decent terms just in case like there's a circle back? I'm looking at that from an individual like employee to the employer
course.
situation,
Well, like,
but
yeah,
we're looking at this in the reverse. We're
That's
looking at this from an employer to the employee. They don't care about you. They don't care about any of us. But then why do we give that like
Why do
I don't know.
Yeah.
Why not slash and burn then? Right?
Ooh.
But then that future that you're asking me to think about, 10, 20 years in the
Right.
future, then it
No, you
definitely
may-
changes.
There is sort of an interesting trend in people getting fired, and then they record the video and then they post it on social media
Sure.
to try to shame the boss,
Or start an influencer career.
which I always think
And love is blind like the rest of them.
like you look like the loser there.
Yeah.
It isn't it. You bring up a very interesting double standard though, because as the employee, you're expected to be decent.
Right. Just in
You're
case.
just in case.
Mm-hmm.
I would say if you are the athletic director of a Big Ten university and you're firing someone, you know what? Don't worry about it, man. Like, you don't need to fly back. You don't need to.
You don't want a handshake? Thank you for your time, Mr. Johnson.
Well, you
The
need to.
program won't forget you. And
The
your
other thing is,
contributions.
well, I think doing it in person is as an outsider watching, I think like that is the decent thing
Sure.
to do. I think you look at how the Timberwolves handled the trade of Cat, and they came out and told him in person,
Mhm.
and I thought that was very decent.
I thought he found out online.
No, Tim Conley
Or
drove
maybe
out
it was
to
just
his
it was
house.
all okay. It was all quick succession though.
It was quick.
It was quick.
I think sometimes, though, as outsiders, one, we're all just looking to be mad about something. Two, a lot of people who don't know crap about anything like to get on social media and look like how holier than thou they are and express outrage that, like, the men's basketball coach at the University of Minnesota, who's getting paid a couple $1 million a year, wasn't treated with like a hug and a kiss and a kind, like, you know what, we should give you 2 weeks before we tell you. Like, no, you gotta get moving. This is like big boy stuff. Like, yeah, sometimes you get fired in the middle of the night. And the reason that he got fired in the middle of the night is that the team arrived in Minneapolis around midnight. So their plane gets back from Indianapolis after they lose around midnight.
Mm-hmm.
And then they meet right away. They're like, look, we love you. You're a great alum. I hope you'll continue donating. And then you're out. And so then they tell the team and then they tell the world because like other coaches, you got to get moving.
Mm-hmm.
But either way, like just, I don't know. I just question if there's any good way to get fired. Like you're always going to be a little ticked, aren't you?
Yeah, and it's always going to be awkward, whether or not they want to do it too. Like I've been in situations where I've been let go and it's the last thing that my superior wants to do, but that's just the reality of the world.
That's sort of different, right?
Yeah.
Like if it's, although sometimes I wonder when these people blame stuff on corporate.
Well, there's that.
You're like, really? Is it? I mean, I would choose to believe it, right? Like if after this show today, they are like, gotta go, you're out. I'd be like, well, it can't be my performance. This show is outstanding.
What numbers are you looking at?
My preparation is unparalleled.
My team tells me otherwise.
Texters. I don't know why people think they need to weigh in on everything. The Gopher coach was fired because they were very inconsistent. He could have been fired right after the game. I knew when they lost again to Northwestern, it was curtains for the coach. Another texter. I'm with you, Jason. I'd be more mad if I got up, went to work, only to get fired and go home. That's sort of what I was thinking.
Where your key card doesn't work to get you into the building. That's a new level of depravity, probably.
My dad got fired. So my dad's job was, one of his jobs was he would get the list of people that were getting fired and he had to deactivate their key cards and their email.
Ooh.
And I swear to God, I'm not making this story up. One day he was on the list that was sent to him. And he's like, is this a mistake? And
He had to deactivate himself.
he did.
He self-deleted.
Now, then he did. At that time, the company he worked for was family owned, and the owner reversed the decision, so he got to keep his job.
Well, that's good.
But he did have to deactivate his own email. Now, Marty in Minneapolis brings up a great point. I find it very frustrating that employers fire employees with zero notice, but employees are still expected to give 2 weeks notice.
This is true.
It is because I think people buy into this nonsense that like work is a family.
They try to sell it to us like that.
Of course they do.
Because they want you to feel indebted to it, to the job, to go above and beyond for your coworkers, if not for the badge.
I do care about my coworkers. And I do love my direct boss. He's the best boss I've ever worked for.
We love Brad Lane.
And I know that like business is business and they care about me as much, not Brad, but like the company cares about me as much as I am helping the bottom line at the company. That's just the reality of the world. And so, yes, employees are expected to do more and be more convenient to the employer because they pay you. We work for them.
Now you're speaking for the man. I don't like it.
I'm not saying I like it. I'm just saying, like, this is how it works. There is a reason that they call him the man, because they are the man. They pay you. Could you exist? Could the company exist without you? If you don't like it, unionize. And then try to use the power. Try to use the power of collective bargaining. But otherwise, you work for the man. I'm not saying I like it. I'm just saying I am aware of the reality of the world. And I think a lot of us live in fantasy land. Now, a texter says they were asked to come in an hour early to work just to find out that you've been fired.
That's kind of what happened to me. I started prepping for the show.
Ugh.
You come down to the office? Sure. What do you got for me?
And you know.
Oh, I walked in
Did
the
you
second.
know?
Oh, once I walked through the door, I saw HR lady sitting right there. I'm like, all right. That's the first time that I got like let go from anything.
Yeah.
He almost cried. My boss down there. It was a good time though. Not that meeting.
Being fired? Or?
Not that meeting in particular, but
Yeah.
like the time before it. And then I went back to my office and like sobbed for a little while. And then I left.
Oh, a teacher brings up a great point. My sister is a teacher and has gone through this. So in education, you get these layoff notices in March. Almost every year, certain people of a certain tenure level will get that almost every year. And you get your notice in March, but the school year goes until June.
Mm-hmm.
And so you got to, even though you've been told like, well, maybe you'll have a job next year, maybe not, essentially.
They
is
give
what
you
that
a
means.
quote head start.
Ugh.
But then are you the type that's going to still go give it your all, or are you checked out?
If I
Most
knew,
teachers are doing it for the kids anyway. So
yeah, you would still work hard.
yeah.
In this profession, like when I was a reporter in Milwaukee, I told them I was not renewing my contract. I was leaving. I gave them 2 months notice or whatever. And you better believe I was working twice as hard up to the end because I didn't want the reputation.
Sure.
It's too small of a business. I didn't want the reputation of like, I was dialing it in, and my boss at that place would make like little snide comments about me dialing it in. And I will never forget that. And
You're going to prove him wrong.
I don't think I'd ever work for her again.
No.
Because you're like, you know what? First of all, you don't know what you're talking about. Second of all, that is incredibly insulting because I was busting my butt. Today, am I busting my butt? Not really. We only have one more segment. We'll do it when we come back here on Drive Time.
Jason DeRusha and Drive Time needs to make a brief pit stop on News Talk 830 WCCO.
I just got a text from my wife, which said, I will meet you at Certix after the show. It's Jason. Here for Certix, they got their anniversary sale going on right now. 91 years in business. Man, the Certix family, I just love them. I saw one of the triplets last night out in the North Loop. Taylor, Melissa, Molly, great family. And they're doing a heck of a job with Certix. Right now, to celebrate their family's 91 years in business, they've said, why don't we put 1,200 things on sale? Whoa. You walk into Certix, you will see sale tags all over the place. Now, this weekend, there's talk of a blizzard. A lot of people prepare by getting bottled water, by getting bread, by getting provisions. I celebrate and plan ahead by getting cheese, sausage, crackers. They have beautiful breads, actually, in the cheese shops at Certix. If you're celebrating St. Patrick's Day this weekend, how about some Irish cheddar? Go get your Guinness. All of it on sale. At University and Hennepin in Minneapolis, I got a huge parking lots, plenty of free parking. You can shop online, too. Tell them you heard us talking about them on CCO. It's Certix.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6481. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-6481. That's 800-575-6481. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Advantage Seamless Gutters is now Advantage Home Pros. New look, same pros. Still locally owned and now taking care of all your gutter and roofing needs. Spring cleanup is just around the corner. Don't spend your weekends on a ladder cleaning your gutters when you could be spending time with family and planning that spring break trip. Trust your local gutter pros, Advantage Home Pros. Now your local custom roofing pros with the highest quality workmanship and materials. Our trained, knowledgeable local pros can handle it all. Trust the pros, AdvantageHomePros.com.
At Wealth Enhancement, we believe wealth is in the details. Our team of trusted advisors craft personalized solutions to help you achieve your financial goals. Tune in to the Your Money Show on News Talk 830 WCCO every Sunday from 8 to 9 a.m. or go to wealthenhancement.com to connect with one of our advisors.
Oh, by the way, Ivan's no longer on the project. His wife got a new job, so they're moving across the country.
Robin's top researcher is deviating to a new market. This isn't standard.
And now we're short-staffed. Who's going to finish all these projects?
She needs a cluster of new data analysts, and there's no margin for error.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Put our matching platform to work so you can spend less time searching and more time connecting with talented candidates. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Selling your home, it's one of the biggest financial decisions you'll ever make. You could go it alone, trying to navigate market trends, determine fair pricing, and tackle tricky negotiations on your own. You could second guess every decision, wondering if you're doing it right. Then there's the showings, the offers, and the mountain of paperwork. Or you could work with the expertise of a realtor, here to guide and help protect as you make your next big move. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors. Right by you.
Now on CCO, let's do traffic and weather together. First, a check of the drive and what shape the roads are in.
It's called vehicle off to the right side. North 35Ws make way toward Franklin Avenue. Get ready for the slowdowns coming up from before Lake Street. Westbound 494, still a slow ride as you come in from the area of 12th Avenue. Highway 100 southbound is make way toward Highway 62. Getting word of an accident there. Traffic is already slow there, and it's also slow in crosstown eastbound Gleason heading over to France Avenue. Terry Peterson, News Talk 830 WCCO.
In its centennial year, the DAV of Minnesota remains dedicated to helping thousands of veterans access the benefits they've earned. And you can make a difference. Volunteer to transport veterans, advocate for improved programs, or donate today at davmn.org.
Forecast time with an update on current conditions and a quick look at what's ahead the next few days.
All right, Chris Schaefer's weather forecast brought to you by DAV of Minnesota. It's a little unsettled tonight. We'll have rain this evening in the Twin Cities, isolated thunder. It'll get down to 48 tomorrow. The rain continues. We might see some snow. We might not by the afternoon. No accumulation. The high will be in the 40s. Sunday, the high is 39. There is a slight risk of severe storms this evening in southern Minnesota because of hail and wind and a blizzard warning in far western Minnesota. Some parts of western Minnesota might get 8, 9, 10 inches of snow tomorrow. Just absolute bananas. Right now, it's, dare I say, hot. It is 75 degrees in Minneapolis on CCO.
Drive Time with DeRusha. Now video streaming live on YouTube and always on your radio at News Talk 830 WCCO.
Don't you know?
So it's a big high school sports weekend. Tomorrow, for the first time in the history of Maple Grove High School, the girls basketball team is in the state tournament. My regular producer, Dan Cook, his brother, Mark, is the head coach. I remember when my high school, suburban Chicago, girls basketball team made it to the state tournament. I was doing play-by-play for the radio station. We had a high school radio station. It was before you had like the kind of regional sports networks broadcasting. It's such a cool thing. Now, yesterday, Lindsay, did any of you went to Irondale?
I did.
Did any of your teams ever go state?
I did. I went to the girls' state high school hockey tournament in 2009. It was the first time our program ever went.
It's a formative memory, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I love that stuff. Now, yesterday I was emceeing. Part of why I wasn't here for the show yesterday is there's a high school competition called Pro Start that is a culinary program. So they have a competition they have like a management competition. It's sort of like DECA.
I competed in that. I remember that too.
And then they have a culinary competition, which is you create a 3-course menu, you prep your station, and then you get 60 minutes to cook. It's pretty cool.
It's like Master Class or Master Chef.
It's like Master Chef.
Ooh.
It was awesome. So I was emceeing it. Hospitality Minnesota helped sponsor Pro Start, but all the schools. And I got to tell you one quick story that in Shakopee, the school superintendent showed up and there were like 2 state representatives and a state senator all there to support the Shakopee team. I thought it was so cool, right? Like the superintendents and the principals, they show up for like the state basketball tournament and this sort of thing. But I wanted to give a shout out. Like these are some leaders, right? State Senator Eric Pratt, Representatives Ben Bakerberg and Brad Tabke, and the superintendent there is Mike Redmond. I just was floored. I've never seen it before in all my years. I coached speech team and debate, and there were no principals showing up for any of that stuff. I'll tell you what. But the state senator, Eric, said, like, sometimes you just need a superintendent who like communicates and tells the legislators what's going on. I don't know. That's cool stuff, man. That is local representing at its best. So good job, Shakopee. Elk River won. That's who won, and good luck to Maple Grove tomorrow. Twins baseball coming up on CCO. All right, one last note before we go, because I want you to get this on your calendar next week. I don't know, we don't have a lot of seats left, but I have a couple seats left on this trip to Greece, and I would love to get you on it. We are going to Greece with Colette October 12th through the 22nd. This is a trip of a lifetime. This is where age-old legends and monuments come together with warm sunshine and island living. We're touring Athens. We're going to explore the Acropolis. We'll see the Parthenon. We'll get the city's best lookout, and then we go to Mykonos. Oh, this beautiful sandy beaches, the bustling energy. And then to Santorini. Picture perfect. You've seen the Instagram pictures. It's better in real life. Thursday, March 20th, we're doing a Zoom info meeting. I want you to be there. Go to WCCOradio.com/Greece. WCCOradio.com/Greece. Sign up for the Zoom Thursday, March 20th at noon, and join me on a trip of a lifetime to Greece.
Oh, honey, it's our favorite leaf filter trusted pro, Matt. Matt, come in, come in.
Hi, Mrs. Sparks. You wanted me to stop by? Is everything okay with your leaf filter gutter protection system?
Okay, of course, silly. We wanted you to stop by for dinner as our way of thanking you.
Yes, to thank you for that free gutter inspection, the free estimate, and what was the other thing?
That lifetime guarantee.
Well, Mr. and Mrs. Sparks, those are just Leaf Filter's policies. Everyone who calls Leaf Filter gets a trusted pro to come out for a free gutter inspection and estimate. And every Leaf Filter installation comes with a lifetime guarantee.
So it's not just us?
No, sir. We don't want anyone to worry about clogged gutters ever again.
You mean everyone gets this level of service?
Everyone. They just need to visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule their free inspection.
Okay, but you must be starving. You work so hard.
Ready to love your gutter protection as much as we do? Visit leaffilter.com/deal and get up to 30% off today.
See representative for warranty details. Promotion is 20% off plus a 10% senior or military discount. One discount per household.
Your news, your voice, your station. News Talk 830 WCCO 1029 HD2. The following is a presentation of Odyssey Sports, presented by Indeed. Post a job today at Indeed.com/hire.
The following is a presentation of the Treasure Island Baseball Network.
The American League Central is shaping up to be a battle here in 2025. And the